Hey guys, it's Todd here from the Parenting Ninja. Today we're going to talk about how to get your kids to learn from their mistakes. You know, I've been working with kids 28 to 29, 30 years now, and one of the things that I hear all the time from kids is, I'm not good enough. I can't. I don't feel like anybody cares, or I don't feel like anybody believes in me. Well, when I hear those things from kids, it just makes me feel so sad. And then when you start asking questions around it, a lot of kids are like, well, it's because I don't do anything right at home. My parents are always there telling me what I'm not doing right, and they're punishing me all the time. Now, mind you, that's the kid's perspective. They don't see the 98% of the good times. They're focused on when we are catching them. But you know what? When you hear that word, catching them, it's almost like we're waiting for them to make a mistake. And that's how they feel. As parents, they feel like we're waiting around for them to make a mistake so we can jump on them, we can get on them, and then we can punish them. I believe the number one reason that we as parents end up doing that a lot is because that's probably how we were raised, and we just don't know any better. What if I told you there's a better way, cuts the stress out, is more meaningful, and actually gets your child to learn from the situation that happened? Well, let me tell you a story about how I used to be versus how I deal with things now. So the old me, if I were to ask my child to clean their room, if they didn't clean the room, I'd go into the room and be like, I thought I told you to clean the room. 2 hours ago, I told you to clean the room. You didn't clean the room. Why didn't you clean the room? Are you listening to me? Are you even listening to me? I asked you a question. Well, at this point, they already know I'm upset. Most kids, when they see their parents are upset, they shut down. They go the opposite direction. And now I'm just asking the same questions. Are you listening to me? Why aren't you answering me? Are you going to answer me? And I'm saying it so fast that they don't even have a chance to respond. Now they're getting more stressed out. I'm getting more upset. And then we blow up, and now we just punish them and we take everything that they've ever had away from them to teach them a lesson. They go into the room, they're upset, and there's never a lesson learned. That was the old me. That's how I was dealt with. Well, what I learned was, oh my gosh, that creates a lot of stress for me as the parent, and whoa, so much anxiety for my child. And guess what? Doesn't grow us together, it actually pushes us apart. Well, I learned a really good strategy, and this is one I use all the time. Just recently, with my 14-year-old Hope, I asked her to clean her room, and she didn't. The old me would have been like an atomic bomb, would have blown up. Well, with the strategies I've learned over the years, this is exactly play by play what happened. I walked into a room and said, hey, Hope, I thought you said you were going to clean your room today. You mentioned to me that you were going to do it by 2 o'clock. Did anything happen? Yeah, I got busy and I forgot. Okay. Well, if it's okay, can I ask you a question? When you forget to do the things you tell me to do you think that makes me feel good or not so much? No, it probably makes you mad. It doesn't make me mad. What do you think it makes me feel? Disappointed? Yeah, it makes me feel disappointed. Why do you think it makes me feel disappointed? Because I told you I was going to do something and I didn't. That's right. And what's the one thing my grandparents always taught me? And she looked at me, she goes, well, your word is really the only thing you have. So never break your word. I said, that's right. And so earlier today, you gave me your word that you're going to have your room cleaned by 2 o'clock. Now, let me ask you another question. If you don't clean your room by 2 o'clock, is that going to grow the trust that we have or not so much? And she goes, yeah, not so much, Dad. I said, now how old are you? She goes, 14 and a half. I said, what are you wanting to do? She's like, I want to take driver's ed. I want to get my license. I said, and when you get your license, you're probably going to what? I want to go see my friends and drive and do those things. I said, that's right. And if I trust you, do you think I'll let you go see your friends? Oh, yeah, go see your friends. I said, but if I don't trust you, what's going to happen? You're not going to let me go see my friends and drive the car. I said, that's right. And she goes, I understand, Dad. Every time I don't follow through and do my part, I'm either growing our trust or I'm not growing our trust. I said, that's right. I said, and when you grow our trust and you're doing the things you tell me, how does that make me feel about you? She goes, makes you feel proud of me, like you can believe in me. I said, that's right. I said, now let me ask you a question. When you don't follow through and your room's not clean, how does that make you feel? She goes, well, having a messy room actually stresses me out because sometimes I can't find stuff. I said, yeah, and do you remember the other day when I wanted to go somewhere and you couldn't find your wallet? Yeah, it really stressed me out because there was something I wanted to get at the mall. I said, that's right. I said, and if your room was clean and straight, would you have been able to find your wallet? Yeah, but I know right where it's at because I would always want to keep it in the same spot. I said, that's right. I said, so what time today do you think you can have your room cleaned by? She said, how about 8 o'clock? I said, okay. I went about my business, did my things. About 6:15, she comes, she goes, Dad, come look at my room. I went in there, looked at the room. It was clean. Things were picked up. Everything is where she thought it should be for her. And I said, let me ask you a question. How do you think this makes me feel? She goes, it makes you feel happy. I said, yeah. Why? Because I did what I told you I was going to do, and I kept my word. That's right. And when you keep your word, what does it do? It builds that trust. I said, that's right. I said, how does it make you feel? She goes, well, really, it makes me not stressed out, because when I was walking in here, I was having to step over stuff, and I didn't want to step on this or that because I didn't know what was under it. And now I can just come in my room and do whatever I want. I said, and now if we want to go somewhere and you need to find your wallet, where is it? She pointed right over to the table. She was like, keep it in that box. I said, that's right, because your room's organized. And when you're organized, how do you feel? Well, I feel good about myself because I actually did what I was told to do. I said, that's right. Now, I do want you to keep in mind that this is the strategy that works with my 14-and-a-half-year-old. It may not work with your 14-and-a-half-year-old. There may be other strategies you need to use. The way you know which strategy to use is by the relationship that you've developed with your child. If you have open communication and they can come and talk to you about anything and you not get upset and angry and blow up on them, you're going to hear the things you need to hear to know how to guide them and give them the message when something goes wrong. Now remember, you've got to avoid blowing up. When you blow up, that pushes the relationship apart, and us as parents, we need to have close relationships so we can keep that communication open with our children so that they want to come and talk to us.